Hey, also, as you know, if you listen to my pod this week, that my word of the year is surrender. And I very specifically landed on that word. It actually was a word that was given to me, 9 months into last year. And when I pick a word, I do some research around the word just so that I am able to know what I'm getting myself into. And I use that word to focus, but I also use the research that I do to guide me in that focusing. So I wanted to share with you the truth about surrender and the fact that it's a gift. So if you're anything like me and you have some sort of attachment to producing and perfectionism and always doing something and always being the person who is really good at the thing and knowing as much as you can know and being able to do things to the best of your abilities and sometimes even comparing yourself to the abilities of others, you'll know that surrender is not the easiest thing for someone like that. However, when I focused on what surrender truly means, I started to focus on the gift that I was actually going to be giving myself this year. The person who wants to control everything, the person who wants to produce all the time, the person who wants everything to be perfect and places so much pressure on themselves. That there's a gift inside of surrendering that may not feel like such a gift in the beginning, because handing something over doesn't feel right to people who want to be productive and perfect inside of that productivity. But when you're handing it over to God, there's a certain amount of release and relief that you feel when you're handing it over to somebody that you know has the ability to do it not just the way you would, but in a way that is better. It's kind of like when you are having somebody babysit your kids or watch over your kids, and you know that you do things your way. And so you're like, okay, this is the way that I do things. This is the way that I want them done. And if they're not done this way, then it's going to be all ruined. But then having that person, whether it be your parents or a best friend or your sister or whomever it is, that you know that when you leave your kids with them, not only are they going to be well taken care of, they're going to be fed and bathed and they're going to have bedtimes and they're going to get good sleep, etc., but that person is going to enjoy the moment with them and they're going to be able to have an experience that far exceeds the experience that you would have because you're a mom and they're them. And surrendering is just like that. It's knowing that you get to not be in charge for once, right? You feel like you're in charge of everything in your life and that you have to be in charge in order for it to go the way that you want it to go. But when you are committing to surrendering it to God, there's a certain level of peace that you feel for not being in charge. Not because you're like, well, if this gets screwed up, it wasn't me, but more so because you're like, I don't have to be the one that holds the reins of everything because I'm not in charge of this. I gave it to Him and I trust that He knows what He's doing. And the second part is it's not all on you. So when you surrender, you're saying, I'll be obedient to the things that you're giving me to do, but I also trust that you're going to take over the rest of this. So it's not all on me. You're shouldering it with me. I have a partner to go through this life with. And when I hand it over to you, you filter all of the things that are yours, and then you hand me the things that you have expectation that I'm supposed to do. And when we give it to God, that's exactly what He does. He's going to say, you know what? I'll take all these pieces because I'm in control of these things. But I'm going to give you a couple of things because I need to make sure that you're down there on earth and you can be the hands and the feet of this operation. But it's not all on us anymore. And then the other thing that happens, the gift inside of the surrender, is that when it's His, it's going to get done the better way. Because He's omniscient. We don't see everything and we don't know everything and we don't have all of the experience of these circumstances. But He does. He has an aerial view, and it's better than an aerial view because it's not even in timeline form of everything that's going to happen, that's supposed to happen, in the exact way that it's going to happen. It's kind of like consulting somebody who is the know-all be-all on this subject and knowing that when they do it, they're going to do it far better than anything that you could have ever touched in that arena. And so when I'm surrendering, the gift inside of that is saying, you know everything. So of course your way is going to be better than my way. And so even if surrender isn't your word for the year, you're going to hear a lot about it this year because it's my word. But also, I encourage you to really look at the true gift of surrendering it to him. The true gift of saying, I don't have to do this on my own. I'm not in charge of everything. And you know more than I do. So do it your way and then tell me how to be obedient inside of that process. And I hope that as you go on this journey with me this year, that you're able to do just the same in letting go of your perfectionist thoughts and your need to control and your need to produce all the time, and to gain the ability to rest inside of this space that says he's the one that knows it all and can do it all, and I'm just here being his assistant in the matter. Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, remember that if this resonated with you or if it didn't, share it with someone else because it could just be the message that they need to change and break free from the experience that they're in. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time.